I ate only meat for 1 week. Let's see what happens. My name is Brad and I'm the Butcher Wizard. And on this channel, we cut meat, we cook meat, we eat meat. So this has been my carnivore journey. I talked about it last week, about starting it, and this is my week 1 update. So we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, the challenges, how I did, all the whole thing. Let's get into it right now. For those of you who don't know, the carnivore diet is a diet in which you only eat meat or meat products. So beef, chicken, pork, fish, cheese, dairy products, that's it. On the surface, this seems very, very simple. I just eat these other foods and I'm fine. Well, I learned very quickly there are many more aspects to this diet, and I'm gonna share those with you today. I also got a little bit of carnivore coaching from my friend Peter at internationalcarnivorecoaching.com. I'm gonna bring you into my coaching session with him, and he's gonna give me some quick tips on how to best transition the diet. Spoiler alert, he did tell me that he usually transitions people for 6 to 8 weeks, and I just jumped into the deep end of the pool. Well, that's kind of my attitude. I'm kind of an all or nothing type of guy, so of course, we're going to just do this cold turkey. Is that a pun? Is that pun intended? I don't know. Cold turkey? I don't know. All right, let me tell you about my challenges for week 1. Week 1 was kind of rough, not gonna lie. First day, great. Got up, had my first carnivore meal. It was eggs and ground beef, scrambled eggs and ground beef, and it was delicious. I had that big bowl and I did not eat again for several hours. I went through right through lunch and went into dinner. And then for dinner, I made the same thing I would make for my family. I just ate just the meat portion. So that worked out pretty well. Day 1 in the books, we're good to go. Day 2 happened and hit me like a ton of bricks. I was lethargic, I was dizzy, very low energy. I guess that's what lethargic means. And at the end of the day, I got really, really dizzy and lightheaded. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? I went to bed, head's kind of spinning, woke up, head's still spinning. And I remembered some of the other podcasts I'd listened to, the videos I listened to, and they said, hey, make sure you are up on your electrolytes. So, okay, so maybe that's what my problem is. So I took a liquid IV, I had those in my cabinet, and then within an hour I felt great. So it was obviously an electrolyte problem, but man, that was something else. That was a weird feeling. But now what I've been doing for this week is just taking one in the morning, electrolyte packet, and we have no more of these issues. It took me, I think my energy came back about day 3.5, and everything's kind of right now back to normal. I wouldn't say I'm superhuman. Like there's some people who do this diet on their YouTube channels and they say they're like superhuman. Well, I haven't got to superhuman stage yet. I just got back to regular Brad stage. So I've just been having usually a big breakfast around 10 o'clock and is eggs, ground beef, or eggs and bacon, something like that. And that has kept me sustained through lunch. I will get hungry again at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon and eat something again then. And then I'll eat with my family, and again, I'll just have the meat portion. So it's worked out pretty well. One interesting thing I have found out though is I did not realize how habitual my eating was. Like at this time you eat something, at this time you eat something. Because I found myself this week being full, but then like still thinking it's time to eat at lunchtime or time to eat at a certain time. So it's really weird how habitual my eating has been. And this really kind of wakes that up and shakes it up and goes, hey, you don't need to eat right now, you're good. For those times where I do get hungry in the afternoon, I've been doing a lot of charcuterie, which has been nice. So prosciutto, some salami, things like that from Costco. Costco's my favorite place, y'all know. So that's been good. Little fresh mozzarella slices, those have been fun. So again, trying to do some foods that I normally would eat or that were kind of not like special occasion, just having them on a more regular or frequent basis. I tried to vary up the meats that I had this week, so we ended up having ground beef, a steak, chicken, salmon, shrimp. So I've tried to really vary that up because I don't want to just get bored of one thing. So that's been a fun thing to do, is to vary up the kinds of meats that I'm having. All right, so now I want to share with you my coaching call that I had with Peter. He's a carnivore coach, and actually he's actually coaches carnivore coaches. So he's graduated from being just a carnivore coach to now coaching the coaches, which is kind of cool. So we're gonna go to that interview or that talk I had with him right now, and then we'll come back and finish up the video, and then we'll go back to eating some meat. All right, let's go.
Hello, beautiful people. Carnivore Coach Peter here, and today we got Brad. How you doing today, Brad?
I'm doing well, Peter. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to have a connection with you. We connected a little bit in like the meat space and the carnivore space. Well, it was great to connect with you, Brad, just to give your audience and my audience a little background. So we connected through one of our carnivore Facebook groups, and you contributed a couple modules to the program, speaking of saving money. So you're actually helping our coaches who do train clients in the carnivore space how to save money, because that is, you can it's like tallow, like you can get fat for almost free, right? Experimenting like with different ways to do the diet and save money. And like you said, if you buy ribeyes from the grocery store every day, it's going to cost a lot of money. But you had an awesome video of like how to buy it in bulk. So the coaches are very excited to have you on board on the team. But today I want to help you through the journey of your the carnivore lifestyle that you're starting to adapt. So how about you give me a little bit of a rundown of when you started and what side effects do you have from it and where you are now?
Yeah, so I am officially 1 week in as of I think yesterday. So I'm officially 1 week in. It was I would say it was easy to implement because I was able to the meals are very satisfying. Like
Yeah,
my first one was just eggs and ground beef, and it was like I had that for breakfast, and then I wasn't hungry for like almost the rest of the day. I had dinner that night, but it was like it was so satisfying and sustaining that you almost forget you need to eat something. So then I think day 2 was where I really kind of hit a little bit of a wall of like, I assume it's because I'm used to having carbohydrates all the time, or a lot, but I got, dizzy and lightheaded and did these other things. I don't think I was on top of my electrolytes as I probably should have been. But after that, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, I really hit my stride and really was
awesome.
feeling back to normal and normal energy levels. But yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a good experiment. So
So you haven't had any carbohydrates for a week now, or do you have a couple slip ups?
no, I've been pretty good as far as the whole thing has gone. Like I said, let's see. So the one thing I do that aren't I allow myself to have coffee because I don't, I really like that cup of coffee in the morning. I'm trying to cut that down. I used to be like, I could drink coffee all day long. So I'm trying to like bring that down just a little bit. So I had coffee and I had some spices and things to kind of, but no, make sure that I didn't have any sugar in them or anything. But yeah, so I've pretty much stayed with the no carbohydrates at all.
Good. Well, it sounds like you did the right thing, when you stop having carbohydrates completely, carbohydrate, actually your body holds on to electrolytes a lot easier when you have carbohydrates. Another thing that happens is when you stop having carbs, you don't have that insulin response. So when you have no insulin response, you excrete more minerals and more electrolytes as well. So you did the right thing. Another thing I think you did well was you didn't try to quit carbs and caffeine together. That would have been a nightmare. Your family would have been like, "Hey, you can go." So I'm glad that you're taking little steps and strides. You're still allowing yourself a little bit of sweetener. You said too.
No, so I've never been a sweet in my coffee kind of guy. So I've just always had, I do a little heavy. I did switch from whole milk to heavy cream, and then that's pretty much it. So I've never been like that much of a sweet tooth kind of guy. I do every once in a while, but I'm more on the savory side.
Nice. Yeah. Good. You can add a little salt too in your coffee if you want to
Oh,
give it a little more savory.
oh, there you go.
I find the salt in the whipping cream, it brings out more of the flavor. It's almost like a sweetness to it after a while.
And do you have any like thoughts about salt? Is it all the same? I know because like people talk about different salts having different mineral contents. Do you feel those are
create equal or different?
Yeah, that's a bit of a controversial question because one good thing about table salt, like iodine salt, is that it has iodine in it. And if you're not having a lot of dairy or a lot of seafood, that does help to have iodine to support your thyroid. And but yeah, certain salts like Celtic salt and Redmond salt, which you may have heard of, they have more of like the different kind of minerals because there's many different kinds. There's magnesium, there's potassium, there's this, the basic sodium. So getting like a good quality salt is important, but it's not like a be all end all. You can salt to taste, get a good quality salt if you can, but it's not a deal breaker in carnivore.
Okay.
Now, another thing I'd recommend too is keep up your salt intake. Like a good way to kind of see if you need salt or not is I say salt to taste. So if you have put salt on your meat and you're like, I want some more, put some more on. It's your body saying that it's craving some more minerals and that kind of thing. If you did transition quite fast, which is what you did, like usually with my clients who I transition them slowly, like over like 4, 6, sometimes even 8 weeks, you kind of jumped in quite quickly. So you want to keep an eye on those things. So you want to keep an eye on the electrolytes. You want to just monitor how you're feeling. But your diet was probably already quite meat heavy, I would assume, being the butcher wars it and all.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's pretty standard. I don't eat a lot. I don't eat a ton of junk food and things like that. But yeah, meat, vegetables, grains, like just kind of like that standard, I don't know,
How's your,
meat, rice, meat, potatoes kind of thing.
yeah, like the balanced.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling now? Like you with the electrolytes and you feel pretty normal?
Yeah, right now the last couple of days I feel really normal, and you know, it it hasn't really affected me now. Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell the difference. I think that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, good. So you may not have even experienced the full benefit of carnivore yet. Like sometimes it takes a couple weeks.
Well, yeah, because I have done like with people who talk about what their experiences are. Yeah, I don't know if that gear has kicked in yet. I'm just like, for me, I'm just glad that the getting past that first initial thing is over, and then as we go forward, I'm excited to see what comes next.
Everyone adjusts like differently. Like everyone's reactions are different. For instance, if someone's having an electrolyte imbalance, like they might get heart palpitations, they might have sleep disturbances, they might have diarrhea, they washroom issues, they might have constipation. So we'll do another check-in next week if that's okay, and just make sure you're on track with everything.
So for week 2, I have some certain goals that I want to accomplish. I'm going to get back into exercise a little bit more. We're going to do walking my dog. This week has been kind of, like I said, a little low energy, so I haven't really felt like doing that. So I think this week will get more back to normal. And I want to go ahead and start incorporating a little bit more seafood. Like I got some sardines to try, some anchovies. I want to start making a couple of different things rather than just having a piece of meat. I thought of like just maybe making a cool compound butter to go on top of a steak. Or I'm getting a little bit low on beef tallow, so I'm going to go ahead and make some beef tallow. I will go ahead and video that and put that on next week's video, so I'll show you guys how I make beef tallow. Again, my channel is full of carnivore friendly videos. So if you need to learn how to cut something, how to cook something, my channel will help you out, so go check out those videos. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more in depth on how to cut meat and how to save more money, I have a private member group that's called the Primal Cuts Club. Now, we get together twice a month for a live Q&A calls where you can talk to me personally. Then we also have the in-depth tutorials that are kind of like a culinary school class. I have an overhead camera, so you just see my hands. You can see everything, and it's a really great way to teach you how to cut these different cuts of meat. We also have a community forum in which we're getting together. You can post how you're doing. You can post pictures on your latest project. We also have a NFL eliminator pool that's going on. So if you sign up really soon from now, you can be part of that, which is going to be fun. I'm going to do a little prize at the end. But yeah, man, we're having a great time, having a lot of fun. I want you to be included in that club. So go ahead and join. Go to the QR code, go to the link in the description, and sign up. All right, so you all know that I've been doing this for a little bit of weight loss. So how did it go for week 1? Everybody wants to know, or maybe you want to know. I hope you want to know. Well, I started at 291 pounds. That's when I started this week at, and I'm actually 293 right now. I actually gained 2 pounds. So this happens every time I start some sort of new eating plan. It seems to, the first week just seems to like gain weight because my body just says, hey, wait a second, what are we doing here? This is new, I guess. So we're gonna find out. We're going this journey together. I'm gonna show you everything. So hopefully next week we got some weight loss to talk about, but as of right now, I don't. And that kind of sucks. That's kind of no fun. But hey, we're in it together. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm sure it's just a minor blip in the road. But yeah, I'm excited to see what week 2 is going to do and my energy levels and all this stuff. I can already feel more back to normal, like I said. So I'm ready just to keep on this carnivore journey. So thank you for watching. Thank you for coming with me. I will see you on the next one.